What's up, everybody? How's it going? Crypto Sloth here, and this is the start of a series that I'm doing on liquidity providing. As many of you guys know, I've done a lot of content on liquidity providing before, both on streams as well as courses and like within my private Telegram and everything. But I wanted to create a resource for everybody where they can go back to it to learn about all of the different aspects of liquidity providing. And the goal of this series is to kind of take you from about 0 to 80. I'm not going to go into the super advanced stuff, but this is going to lay the foundation for anybody who's looking to utilize liquidity providing in their crypto strategies to produce passive income, to buy crypto, to sell crypto, whatever it might be, or simply just use it as a tool to understanding why the market is moving a certain way, or an extra tool to help you analyze the market. That's what this video series is. It's about a 9-part video series where I'm going to release one video every single day, starting with today. And they're going to be nice bite-sized chunks that don't take too long to listen to. And my hope is that you share these out and refer back to them over time. With Pulse Chain being a couple months old now and us getting a lot of different dApps, specifically a lot of different DEXs available to us, and DEX aggregators, is really, really important for both the casual user and the power user to understand the different forms of liquidity, how to utilize them, why they're important, and kind of like what these different types of liquidities mean for price action. And so this first video is basically the basics. Liquidity providing lesson number 1, the basics. And the goal of today's lesson is to set the absolute foundational groundwork. The concept that I'm going to share with you guys today in this video is, in a lot of ways, all you really need to know about liquidity providing. Everything else is derived from the one concept that I'm going to be outlining to you in this first lesson, the basics. So let's just dive into it, shall we? So liquidity providing is allowing others to trade with your coins. That is it. That is what you're doing when you're providing liquidity. You're putting your coins up into the market and signaling to everybody, hey, if you want to trade one of these 2 coins, I will allow you to do that with my coins. So how does this work? Well, let's just take a liquidity pool for an example. Let's say this cylinder is a liquidity pool and it's yours. You own this. And in this liquidity pool, we have 3 HEX tokens and we have 3 USDC tokens. If this is the only liquidity that exists, then the price of each HEX token would be $1, because the price is a function of the ratio of tokens within a liquidity pool. And if this is all the liquidity that exists, then HEX is at $1 because each HEX is backed by 1 USDC coin. Okay. Now, let's say somebody wants to buy HEX. You've put your coins in this liquidity pool, and so somebody who wants to buy HEX is going to take their USDC and they're going to place it into this pool. And then when they place it into the pool, they're going to get HEX back at the rate at which the price is set at. So in this case, it was $1. So they put $1 in, they get 1 HEX token out. Now, if you'll notice, the composition of that liquidity pool has now changed. So instead of before you having 3 HEX tokens and 3 USDC tokens, you now have 2 HEX tokens and 4 USDC tokens. This change in composition of liquidity pool is going to be very, very important when we talk about concepts like impermanent loss. But for now, just know that you, as the liquidity provider, have lost a HEX coin but gained a USDC coin. And if we recalculate the price based on what this buy has done, we now have 2 HEX tokens, 4 USDC tokens. Each HEX is backed by 2 USDC. Therefore, each HEX is worth $2. Well, let's take the same scenario and say somebody wants to sell their HEX. Well, in this case, they're going to take their HEX token, they're going to put it in the liquidity pool and pull out 1 USDC token dictated by the HEX equals $1, that price tag at this ratio. And now we have 2 USDC tokens backed by 1 HEX token, or 1 HEX token backed by a half of a USDC token. So in this case, the price of HEX is 50 cents. And so this is what's happening fundamentally when you're providing liquidity. You are putting your coins into a pool that other people with either one of the tokens have access to. If they put 1 token into the pool, they take the other one out, and vice versa. If they put the other one in, they get the first one out. And then you, as the liquidity provider, are simply left with what's left over. Another way of saying that is you're taking the other side of every single trade that's going on in a given market for the 2 coins that you're trading with. So yeah, person buys hex, it goes to $2. Person sells hex, it goes to 50 cents. And then you as the liquidity provider either accumulating hex or accumulating USDC, one of the two, depending on whether people are buying or selling. So that's the only concept that we're getting across today. It's the very foundational concept, and that is liquidity providing is allowing others to trade with your coins. If you understand this intimately, everything else in this video series will make a lot of sense, and everything else in this video series is derived from this one concept. So when a swap occurs, one token is placed in the liquidity pool and another is removed. This changes price because price is a function of the ratio of the coins. The liquidity provider is left with more of the token that has less value. And this makes sense if we go back to our example. Let's take this example where somebody has bought hex. So they took hex, they placed it in they took USDC, placed it in the liquidity pool, and then took out hex tokens. Well, the price of hex went up. It doubled in this specific scenario, but they're left with less tokens that have gone up in value and have retained more tokens that have, in this case, retained their value, or technically gone down in value because the value of USDC has gone down relative to hex. Now, one thing that I didn't mention in the scenarios is that, you're providing a service to the market when you're providing liquidity. This is a service by making the market. You are a market maker. So because of this, you are entitled to a fee. And that fee is paid with every swap. So when somebody does a swap, a small bit of their transaction is of their money that they're buying or selling with is taken out of the transaction and then given to the liquidity providers. And this is where the lucrative part of liquidity providing comes into place. You are, in a sense, trying to make money by providing your coins to the market to trade with, and you are earning the fees associated with those swaps. So a fee is paid with every swap which is given to the liquidity provider. I hope you enjoyed that first lesson. Very, very simple, very, very straightforward. Stay tuned for tomorrow, where we're going to get into the difference between Uniswap V2 and Uniswap V3 DEXs. These are the two main types of DEXs that exist, and understanding these two will get you 90% of the way to understanding how to most efficiently effectively utilize liquidity providing for a variety of different options, whether that's buying crypto, selling crypto, or my favorite one, creating passive income with your crypto. So stay tuned for lesson 2. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you liked it, make sure you subscribe to the channel to get notified for the next video, and make sure you leave a like too to help pump that algo. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.